There are key dimensions of baking to provide the scientific foundation for the study of baked goods. The word flour technically refers to wheat flour specifically, but the term is now used for any type of milled grain. The first term to note is milling, which is the grinding and refining of cereal grains. The objective of milling is to produce a fine powder. There are three parts of a grain: the bran, the endosperm, and the germ. The bran is the outer layer encasing the interior endosperm and germ. It is very high in cellulose and very fibrous. The endosperm is the large inner portion of grains or cereals that is composed largely of starch and some protein. The germ is the small portion in the grain containing fat and a small amount of protein as well as some vitamins. After grinding, much of the bran and shorts, which is the layer just inside the outer bran layer, may be left with the endosperm to be made into whole wheat flour. To make white refined flour from wheat, the bran and shorts are removed, a process called extraction. There are several different types of milled wheat flour. There is all-purpose flour, which is a multi-use flour made from hard wheat or a mixture of hard and soft wheat. Self-rising flour is a unique flour in the retail market that may be considered as a semi-mix or shortcut of baking because it contains both leavening and salt. It's usually made from soft wheat, and you can easily make your own.
Freshly milled flour is not ideal when it comes to baking products because of the rough product made during the milling process. There are two processes that can be completed in order to make the whole wheat flour more desirable in the baking process. The first process is exposing the milled flour to open air for several weeks. This will start bleaching the yellow, undesirable color out of the flour and produce a much more desirable whitish color. The second process that is used to bleach flour is the use of benzoyl peroxide. This product is also used in the treatment of acne. While this product seems odd to be in food, the FDA approves it for use in food products. Baking qualities of wheat flour improve over an aging process. This is due to the fact that changes occur in the protein molecules that make it more desirable for baking. This process can either occur by time or by the addition of certain chemicals. Chlorine, acetone peroxide, and azidocarbamide are all additives that speed up the aging process. Azidocarbamide is a chemical that Subway was criticized for using in its breads a few years ago. When wheat flour is refined, it ends up losing many important nutrients that were originally found in the wheat product. This is why the FDA has made adding these nutrients such as thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folic acid, and iron mandatory back into these products. These nutrients are key for many processes that occur in our body. Gluten is the protein found in flour that helps maintain the desired structure of certain baked products. Variation in the extent of the development of the gluten is responsible for many differences in textures in baked items. Gluten must be manipulated with water to start the formation of this complex. As much as 2 times as much water as gluten is needed in order to properly form this complex. The rate of gluten development depends on a variety of factors. These include the temperature of the dough, which influences the rate at which gluten develops. As temperature increases, the rate of hydration of the gluten also increases. When sugar is added to the batter, it retards the development of gluten. This is caused by the competition between sugar and gluten for the water. Increased levels of fat also decrease gluten development. This is caused by the coating of the gluten molecule with fat, making hydration very difficult.
When you look at a slice of bread or cake, do you ever notice the little air pockets inside? If you think about it, it is these small pockets of air that help allow these foods to have their light and chewy texture that we enjoy. These air pockets are a result of leavening agents. A leavening agent, sometimes called leavening or leaven, is a substance used in doughs and batters that cause them to rise. In the presence of moisture, heat, acidity, or other triggers, the leavening agent reacts to produce gas, often carbon dioxide, that becomes trapped as bubbles within the dough. Leavening agents can be divided into 3 different categories that include physical, biological, and chemical. Beginning with the physical category, we have air and steam. Air is always a leavening agent in baked products because it always becomes trapped within the mixture while the ingredients are being blended. Steam is another physical agent that is a far more effective leavening agent than air, due to the volume being able to increase 1600-fold as water is converted to steam. Examples include popovers, which usually triple in volume during baking due to steam, and cream puffs, which are mostly leavened by steam. In addition to physical agents, we also have a biological agent that causes rising in foods, which is called yeast, a single-celled microorganism strain. This leavening agent works by fermenting sugars in the food to produce carbon dioxide. Some popular foods that use yeast include bread rolls and pizza. Because this yeast must be alive for fermentation to occur, temperature must be controlled carefully to achieve satisfactory production. Lastly, there is the chemical leavening agent baking soda and baking powder. Chemical leavening is the reaction of a leavening base, such as baking soda, with a leavening acid, such as sodium aluminum sulfite, in the presence of moisture and heat to produce carbon dioxide gas.
Ingredients play an important role in baking. Let's start with flour. Wheat flour is the basic structural component in most doughs and batters. Gluten in the flour expands the cells and defines the tenderness and flakiness of baked goods. Mixing develops gluten. The amount of mixing to be done depends on the type of flour. Another important ingredient is starch. Water is bound by starch, causing gelatinization, which contributes to the change of batters and doughs from fluid to the firm structure of the baked product. Liquids, such as water, act as a solvent. They dissolve dry ingredients while hydrating yeast. Liquids also contribute to gluten development because the protein must be hydrated before it can be manipulated. When milk is used as the liquid, it contributes to crust browning because of the protein and sugar content, as well as softening due to fat content. Eggs are important ingredients because they add moisture as well as proteins that contribute to the structure of the baked goods. Egg yolks serve as an emulsifier, which provides an equal dispersion of fat and liquid, leading to a fine texture. Egg white foams contribute to the texture of quick breads and cakes. Many types of fats, such as butter, margarine, lard, and oils, can be used in baking. The type of fat used can affect color, flavor, and texture of the final baked product. Sugar is used as a sweetener, but also serves many other functions. Sugar causes browning of the crust through caramelization and tenderizing by stopping gluten development. There are several components to line up to ensure a quality item. As you can see, baking is very much a science.